Welcome back for another video. I'm going to do a pickups video, show my latest pickups. It's not a whole bunch of stuff like it was in the past. I'm not waiting as long and just not buying as much. And I'm not spending as much as I used to. So we'll start off with the, probably the most wanted item out of a few others that I really wanted over the years. And, but this is new. This is a cartridge version of Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles Shredder's Re-Revenge. So they dropped the characters from Shredder's Revenge into Streets of Rage 2 stages. Very cool. It was done right from what I saw, like gameplay footage, and had to have this. Very cool box art. They really went the full gamut here, the extra mile to make it that much more special. So there's the inside. This one's really hard to open, but I mean, just has that great arcadey, look to it on the box art. Very cool. This is not an official release. It is fan made, but done right. Unfortunately, this copy doesn't work, so I'll be sending it back here really soon to get a replacement cartridge. TMNT and Streets of Rage Shredder's Revenge. Not Streets of Rage 2, I guess. No, wait. No, they are in Streets of Rage 2. Anyways, from what I've seen, this is a great game. Obviously, I played the original Streets of Rage game, Streets of Rage 2, and the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle games on the Genesis. Just not the actual cartridges. I don't own them, but played them on Flashcart and on the TMNT Cowabunga collection. But yeah, this is a great buy. I believe they used a real Genesis cartridge, probably like a donor cartridge from like a sports game. They open it up brand new and gut it and use the shell for these types of releases, which is really cool. Labels done right as well. So yeah, we'll move on to the next games. Japanese edition of Super Mario Land. Great game. You don't really have a lot of text in here. And the text that is in this game is in English. Great side scroller. I never played it until really played it. Got serious about playing it until now. I did play it on my Raspberry Pi 3 when I had that, when it was working. Other than that, yeah, just all around excellent game. Wario Land 2, another Japanese edition. This is for the Game Boy Color. Never played much of this game. Played some of it back in the day, and just never. I don't know. There's something about it, Eventually, I played it on an emulator years ago on my PC and decided I didn't like it. But it's one of those games that grew on me. Kirby and Dream Land 2, I think it is, or yeah. Another great game. This one has a little more Japanese text to it, so but I can still play it, and it does have the color palette for when you play on the Game Boy Color or on the Game Boy Advance and on the Analog Pocket. But yeah, Kirby game, you just can't go wrong. Another Mario game, or Mario related. Wario Land for the Game Boy, another Japanese edition here. Bought all 4 of these games in a lot for a very cheap price, or inexpensive price. So very happy to get them. But yeah, this game, another excellent one. One I'm gonna have to go through. This game has a lot of Japanese text in the menus, so navigating them is a little tough, but there's ways around that, and I've spoken about that in my Game Boy or handheld collection video here recently. Yeah, excellent side scroller. You guys know the deal on this one. And this one I actually never played and really didn't know it existed until actually recently. I saw on the Analog My Life in Gaming's coverage of the Analog Pocket, their review, and they showed footage of Battletoads on the Game Boy. And that's how I found out about it. I didn't know about it. I knew about the NES game for years and years, 30 years, but not this one. But this is a great game. It's different than the NES game. It's similar to it. The enemies are different, but it's the same premise. You're side-scrolling, moving forward in levels. But yeah, it's great. Great music, great gameplay. There's nothing wrong with the hit detection in this one. and it's inexpensive. I got it for an inexpensive price. Love the logo here, Battletoads. I have the Battletoads on NES, and they should really release a Battletoads collection. That'd be really, really cool if that happened. I don't know if Trade West is still in business. I think it's one of those defunct uh, companies, just like Sunsoft. They're gone too. But yeah, can't go wrong with this game. If you can find it, I say pick it up. It's a nice little arcadey style game. So sticking with video game stuff, there's another item. I think I showed this already, but Midway Arcade Origins on the PlayStation 3. 30 plus games from the golden age of arcade gaming. They're not lying, and WB Games put this out. So you have like Joust, Defender, Rampage, Total Carnage, Gauntlet, 720 Degrees, skateboarding game, APB, Arch Rivals, Bubbles, Championship Sprint, that's a great one. Tournament, Cyberball, it's 2072, never played that one. Defender 2, Gauntlet 2, Joust 2, Marble Madness, Pit Fighter, Rampart, Robotron 2084. Root Beer Tapper, they don't have the sequel to that game. Satan's Hollow, Sinister, Smash TV, great one. Spy Hunter, another great one. Super Off-Road, another great game. Super Sprint, Tubin, that's another great one. And Super Sprint as well. I think it was called Timber. It was the sequel to, or, successor to Root Beer Tappin'. What else? Wizard of War, that's another great one. Xenophobe and Cybots. I think you get some artwork in this. The Midway Treasures collection on PlayStation 2 was very extensive. I don't think this has all that extra content that had, which is like, videos from the creators of those games and developers and all that, talking about the games, reminiscing, great stuff. But this collection is great. It's really solid. So are the other Midway collections on PlayStation 2. Can't go wrong with either of them if you get them. Tekken 3 for PlayStation. I think I already showed that, but Shredder's Revenge on Switch. My copy's still sealed since I have the digital version. But it's a great game, very reminiscent of the arcade game. I've talked about this before. And yeah, I just love it to death. And I'm over halfway through the game. Gonna keep going. I can play this on a TV, in handheld mode of the Switch. You can disconnect the Joy-Cons from the system and play that way. And with Switch Lite as well. And it is compatible with the Pro Switch controller and any other controller, really. I believe they added, what is it called? No, I'm sorry. That'd be cool if they would add arcade stick compatibility to the game, but that has been added to this game. TMNT, the Cowabunga collection, so you get all both arcade games of the TMNT, all the Game Boy games, all three of them, all the NES games, all the Genesis and Super Nintendo, all in one great package for a low price. I'm gonna say this will go on sale probably here soon, sometime this year possibly. But love the artwork on this. It's looks like a comic book, and it has some of the cartoon blended in there. But yeah, this is a great collection. You have not storyboards, conceptual drawings of the turtles, box art, scanned box art of the boxes that are just brand new and crisp and look great. All kinds of just artwork, that stuff that's never before been seen by the public. A little bit of black and white stuff in there. Gotta love it. Let me get this out. Oops. Okay, I'll show it here. The box. N64 save file, Forever Pack 64, 256 kilobytes. It is the N64 save file or save memory pack that will never die. It will last forever. They say it here right on the packaging. So this does not have a battery in it like the original Nintendo save packs do, and as well as the third party ones. I have one of them, maybe two. So this is made by 4Player Technologies, and I saw this on Stone Age Gamer's website, and I had to have it because I do still play N64 games on the original hardware, and I'll be able to transfer those saves to this pack from my original. I'm not sure how I'll do that, but I'll figure it out. Yeah, pick these up while you can. They come in different colors, blue and gray. I think green, jungle green as well. So yeah, that's available on the Stone Age Gamer website. Almost forgot the main attraction here. Analog Pocket. There's the box. I love their boxes. They're sturdy. I just keep all my analog products inside the box. The Mega SG and Super NT as well. But yeah, great machine here. Can play out of the box Game Boy games, Game Boy Color, Game Boy Advance. There are adapters to play the Turbo handheld, Turbo Graphics handheld, Game Gear, Atari Lynx. I'm probably not going to buy those because I just didn't grow up with those systems. Not that I have anything against them, but this is I'll take it out. It's a real solid machine compared to the Game Boy. Buttons are very responsive and tactile feeling. They're just a very well made machine. It's got some weight to it, even without a game in it. And I'll do a full on review of it later on. But very much enjoying it. Comes with all your needed cables except for a power supply cable, which that is actually supplied separately, but I've been using my cell phone charger to charge the thing, so that works. Not gonna hurt it. Alright, so in terms of music, we have Andrew Hill, Point of No Departure with Kenny Dorham, Eric Dolphy, Joe Henderson, Richard Davis, and Anthony Williams. The Doors, a 1988 Elektra CD copy. Never heard this one, but it sounds great. Nothing will ever probably trump the DCC Gold CD edition. That's like the best version, but the original master tape was used to make this release, but it's been heavily tinkered with, and it's very evident in this. Been hearing this and hearing that other copy, but it's cool to have a different to hear it a little bit different, and it sounds just fantastic though. We'll stick with the rock and roll. Okay. Clearance Clearwater Revival, featuring John Fogerty, Chronicle, the 20 greatest hits. And I used to own a copy of this. I don't think it was this edition, but or from this year, but it's an original, or at least one from 1991, I think the seller said. But yeah, it's just the greatest hits. Got all the hit songs here. Joe Satriani, Surfing with the Alien. I thought this was an older copy. Maybe it's not. Don't know. But now I have two copies. It's a Relativity edition. It's a great album. This one, it reminds me of a lot of the music that's in F-Zero X on the N64. It just reminds me of some of those tracks on there, especially the one with the floating track where you're on that, like, you're out in space or whatever. But yeah, this is great music if you're into like guitar music, noisy stuff, 80s. You'll love this. Oh heck, forgot to show these. The Best of the Doors. My dad has a copy of this, and this is in this Doors lot that I'm going to show the next couple of CDs. I have all these songs elsewhere. I mean, these sound just fine. There's a bonus track on here. that wasn't on the record of this. My dad has the record as well, and I had a chance to buy it, the record, at a shop, but decided not to. But this sounds good, you know. Greatest, the best of the Doors from 1985. We'll stick with the old releases. The Doors in concert. I wanted this for years and just didn't get it because I had all these tracks elsewhere and in video form. But got it just for, it was in this lot. And I thought, well, I don't have it. And it's just a compilation of live tracks over many different shows and locations. I couldn't even begin to start picking that apart, but I think it lists here in the booklet all where each track was recorded. And you have stuff from the Hollywood Bowl and live in New York. The list goes on. I mean, everything is in here, from the late 60s to into the 70s when, of course, up into the point where Jim died. But there's no Matrix material in this, and that's never been in a recent greatest hits compilation. It was in the Doors box set from 1997. But this came before that, and you get the CDs here, very kind of plain and silver, but hey, that's their charm. And they sound great. And they're great performances. Alright. The Doors, Waiting for the Sun 40th Anniversary Edition on CD. I have the DVD copy, so I may sell this. Just not on mine. Alright, so I have that. Herbie Hancock, Maiden Voyage. There's a 1989-88 copy on CD. Sounds fantastic. Did not want to get this over the remaster because that sounds fine, but I wanted something different than what I'm hearing on my phone. And this is just a great album, well-known album by Herbie. So you got Freddie Hubbard on trumpet, George Coleman tenor sax, Herbie Hancock, of course, on piano, Ron Carter on bass, and Tony Williams on drums. The title track is good. The second track is good. Little One, Dolphin Dance, Survival of the Fittest. Yeah, maybe that will have to grow on me, but the CD is in my player. So, Herbie Hancock, Empyrean Isles. This is a Jazz Heritage Edition. So, obviously the original CD, I couldn't find an original copy, Blue Note CD copy, so I opted for this. But it is licensed by, under license from Capitol from 1991. But it sounds great. I think it's the same mastering that they did in the 80s, that Capitol did. So it's digital transfer by Ron McMaster. He did a fantastic job on all those Blue Note Jazz releases in the 1980s, transferring those to digital for CD releases. These always get stuck. So there you go. There's the disc. Great songs on here. Cantaloupe Island is a great one. Sounds very similar to Maiden Voyage, but there's just you have Quiloku Valley. That's another great one. You have some alternate takes on here as well, which is really cool. Blue Note started adding those in later when Rudy Van Gelder did his digital transfers in the 90s and to early 2000s. I believe he has passed away. But yeah, what a great album. Love the original cover though. It's like blue. Looks like a volcano going off or something. Erupting, or it's like fireflies in the background. I don't know, but it's cool. Kenny Dorham, Quiet Kenny, 1992 CD copy on the Jazz Classics label. Love the sound of these, and they're inexpensive. Pick these up while you can. The records in this series are going, the price is going up, unfortunately. I have a few of those, or one of those, and enjoy it very much. Even though it's digital, that's fine. Chet Baker Chet. Oh, never mind. I've shown this before, but another Jazz Classics. I pulled it out to listen to it, so that's not a new pickup. This is also not a new pickup. We'll go back to Chet Baker. Jazz Masters 32 on the Verve label. weird they made this pink, but it's like a greatest. It's like a lot of his early stuff, I guess they said in the booklet. But yeah, great tracks here, just great stuff. Night at Birdland, Volume 1, Art Blakey Quintet. Have not listened to this yet. It's a Rudy Van Gelder digital transfer. I'm sorry. Arlo Guthrie, Alice's Restaurant. That's a great track. It's just a story, he says. It's not a real. Alice's Restaurant Massacre is not a real. It's not a fictional story. But yeah, this is an older CD copy. And I'd heard this song on, I think on the Bob Dylan documentary, the recent one from, the recent official one that's on Amazon and a couple other places. And I heard the song on that or something else, and even my mother knows about this album. Very, very funny, and folk music. I don't know. I've grew to like it through an old friend of mine. He turned me on to all that stuff, and yeah, there you go. That's all the music on CD. So we will get to the records. There's just a few of them. Hank Mobley, Curtain Call. Great one. Just didn't own it, and I'll do a review of this. I wanted to get the CD quite some time ago, but it was going for a lot, and now it's like almost unavailable. An older CD copy from 2005 or something like that. But all these tracks are great in my opinion. Some of them are a little busy, the little tooty. But yeah, excellent album, mastered by Kevin Gray at Coherent Audio. All the Blue Note, or a lot of the, I think all of the Tone Poets are mastered by Kevin Gray. And I'll show that a little bit more later. I'll talk about these albums a little more in depth. Now for some classic vinyl series records. We have Herbie Hancock, Maiden Voyage. And I bought this around the same time I bought the CD copy recently. Another Kevin Gray mastering at Coherent Audio on 180 gram vinyl. Pretty sure the Tone Poets are on 180 gram vinyl as well. The only difference between these and the Tone Poets is packaging is cheaper and much thinner. Those are Tone Poets are Stoughton. I'm not sure who makes these. But you just get album tracks here, original ones. I haven't heard this one yet, but I'm sure it's going to sound great. I've never heard the Blue Note Classic Series vinyl album that sounds bad. Okay. Kenny Burrell, Blue Midnight, and I have the Analog Productions Super Audio CD of this, and that sounds fantastic, but I had to have it on record, had to. And a while back I was looking at eyeballing the Analog Productions record of it, but it was a lot. And there's also, I believe there's also a Music Matters Jazz edition, but couldn't get them. They were just very, very expensive, and I almost dropped some money on one of those copies, just looking at them. But this is fine. The print quality on this is really, really good, and it sounds great too. No errors on this pressing. There's no, inherent pops or clicks or anything. Every song is great. There you go. Now on to the Amiibos. So we have Link here. I'm going to buy some more. I think I've shown him before, but I'll just show him anyways. Great paint job on him. He has his Hyrule shield and a sword. This is the Link's Awakening remastered edition of Link, by the way. We'll show his little hat and tunic and stuff. Very cool. The other links are going for quite a bit of money, so I just didn't buy them. Samus. Not sure which iteration this is of Samus, but excellent paint job. Will I be buying more of these? Probably so, but I'm to find a place for them because I don't have a whole lot of room. I'll just make some room. One of the squids from Splatoon. There's different colors of these guys, and I just chose him because I thought he was really, really cool looking. This is an open box. I didn't know until I got it and set it down. I heard something fall and it opened up. So this is the Zelda 30th Anniversary Edition of Link from the original Legend of Zelda Blocky Edition. I think I showed Mario in my other pickups video. I'm not sure, but I got him. He's in my Amiibo collection video, which a few of these are not in that. This one is not. Yeah, I'll get these when I can find them for a really good deal. I'm not gonna pay top dollar for them, like for the what was it? For one of the Metroid characters, what was it, Mother Brain or something? That's a lot of money. I'm just not willing to plunk down that kind of money. So, Kirby even has his name in Japanese text. Still sealed. Oh, there's actually a stamping on here to tell you it's real. Maybe they had problems with them bootlegging them. Someone. Yep, they're all stamped with numbers, just like the old NES games were on the labels on the back. That's cool. I think that's it. Yeah. Well, that's it, guys. That's all my pickups. Yeah, come back for more videos, album collection videos, and I'm gonna start doing the video game or not video game pickups. The what do you call it? The album collection videos and all that, as well as I'm gonna start back up my gameplay channel, doing the gameplay videos on Josh Plays 87. So, thank you very much for watching and subscribing.